Over 90% of adults over the age of 60 are making a critical mistake with one of the most trusted health foods in the world. And the dangerous part is this: it doesn't feel like a mistake. It feels like you're doing something right. Now think about your daily routine for a second. Is there one food you eat almost every day because you believe it's protecting your heart? For many people I work with, it's avocado. But here's what most people don't realize. What works at 40 can quietly start working against you at 60. And one of these mistakes, most people don't notice until something in their body starts to change. Let me explain. One medium avocado contains around 250 to 300 calories and over 700 milligrams of potassium. That sounds healthy. On paper, it is. But after 60, your kidneys don't filter as efficiently. More than 60% of people your age are also taking medications that affect how your body handles potassium. So now, what looks like a healthy habit can slowly turn into overload. And you won't feel it immediately. No warning, no signal, just small changes. Slight fatigue, slower thinking, less clarity. Most people say, "I'm just getting older." But this is where most people get it wrong. This is not just aging, it's imbalance. And it's often coming from something you trust. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the most common mistakes people over 60 make with avocado. Some of them build slowly, but one of them happens much faster than you expect. Stay with me, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now here's the first mistake. And clinically, it's the one I pay the closest attention to, because it looks completely harmless. Eating avocado while taking blood pressure medication. Now think about this. If you're over 60, there's a high probability you've been prescribed something like lisinopril or losartan. These medications help your heart. They reduce pressure, but they also do something else. They reduce how much potassium your body removes, so your body holds onto it. Now add avocado, 700, sometimes 900 milligrams of potassium. And here's where it gets interesting. Your kidneys are already filtering more slowly, your medication is holding potassium in, and your diet is adding more every single day. This is what we call accumulation, and it doesn't happen all at once. It builds quietly until it crosses a threshold. Then symptoms begin: weakness, fatigue, irregular heartbeat. And this is the part most people never connect. I've had patients walk in feeling completely fine, and their lab results told a different story. Potassium levels high enough to require immediate correction. No new medication, no major change, just one daily habit they believed was helping them. So here's what you do. Don't guess. If you're taking blood pressure medication, be aware of your potassium intake. Not perfect, just aware. And more importantly, don't turn avocado into something automatic. Because this is where control is lost, not from big mistakes, but from small habits repeated without thinking. And this is only the first piece of the puzzle, because the next mistake looks even healthier on the surface, but affects your body in a completely different way.
Now here's where things start to get misleading, because this next habit looks like a healthy upgrade, avocado on toast. But on the surface, it seems like a smart choice. The issue is not the avocado, it's the combination with refined carbs. Fat starts accumulating inside your muscle cells. This weakens the insulin signal. The door doesn't open for glucose. This is insulin resistance. It doesn't feel dramatic, no sudden spike. Instead, your blood sugar stays elevated longer, leading to fatigue and brain fog. Don't remove avocado. Change what you pair it with. Vegetables instead of refined carbs. Fiber instead of fast sugar. Combine foods in a way your body can actually use. This is the key to lasting health. Share your experience below.
Now here's a detail almost no one pays attention to until their body reacts. Eating avocado before it's fully ripe. It seems minor, almost irrelevant. But your body doesn't treat it that way, because an unripe avocado is chemically different. It contains higher levels of tannins and a compound called persin. These are natural defense mechanisms. The plant uses them to prevent being eaten too early. But when you eat it anyway, your digestive system has to deal with that. And after 60, that system is more sensitive. Enzymes are lower. Repair is slower. So what happens? Not immediate pain, not something obvious, just a pattern. Bloating, heaviness, a stomach that doesn't feel right. And this is where people get confused. They think they've developed a new intolerance. So they remove foods, change diets, try to fix something bigger, when the issue was something much simpler: timing, ripeness. This is what I mean by small details, because small irritations, repeated daily, don't stay small. They accumulate. So here's the rule: if it's firm, it's not ready. And this matters more than people think, because the next mistake has nothing to do with digestion, but something you can't even see. Now here's where things shift in a different direction, because this next mistake has nothing to do with what you eat, but what happens after you cut it. Saving half an avocado for later, it seems efficient, practical. But here's what most people never think about. The outer skin of an avocado is not sterile, and the moment you cut through it, your knife can transfer bacteria directly into the flesh. Now this is where it matters, because that soft interior is the perfect environment: moisture, nutrients, and then you place it in the refrigerator. Cold slows bacteria, but it doesn't stop it. So over time, you create low-level exposure. And here's what makes this subtle: you don't get sick immediately. Just small reactions, digestive discomfort, fatigue, things you don't connect to food. Especially after 60, when your immune response is slower. This is what makes it easy to miss. So here's the adjustment: don't eliminate, be precise, seal it properly. Use it within 24 hours, or better, only cut what you need. Because the next mistake has nothing to do with storage, but something happening directly in your blood. Now this is where control becomes even more important, especially if you're taking medication. Now let's talk about blood thinners. Now think about this. These medications work within a narrow range. Too much, risk of bleeding. Too little, risk of clotting. Now add avocado, vitamin K. And here's where most people get it wrong. It's not about eating it, it's about inconsistency. One week, you eat it daily. Next week, not at all. Then suddenly, again. From your perspective, that's normal. From your body's perspective, that's fluctuation. And fluctuation affects INR, your stability. And stability is what protects you. I've seen patients stable for years, then suddenly, out of range. No major change, just small dietary shifts. So here's the key: consistency. Same portion, same frequency. Because the next mistake is something your body reacts to before you even have time to adjust. Now this next one starts small, so small, most people ignore it. A slight tingling, a mild itch, a feeling that something is off. And this is where awareness matters, because your immune system, after 60, doesn't just weaken, it becomes less precise. And sometimes it reacts to foods differently. Avocado proteins can resemble latex or pollen, so your body responds. At first, barely noticeable, but repeated exposure can increase sensitivity. And here's the shift: what starts small doesn't always stay small. So instead of ignoring it, observe it. Because the next mistake is different. It doesn't build slowly, it happens fast. Let me ask you something. Have you felt like your body has changed, but you can't explain why? Not something obvious, just subtle. And you start thinking, maybe it's just aging, but what if it's not? What if it's patterns you haven't connected yet? Just think about that. Because what comes next is something most people never expect. Now this is where things become more immediate, because this doesn't build slowly, it happens fast. Maui medications and tyramine. Now normally, your body regulates this, but with MAOEs, that system is blocked. So tyramine builds quickly and triggers a surge in blood pressure. Not gradual, sudden head pressure, heart racing, a reaction you didn't expect. And this is what makes it dangerous, because without awareness, you don't connect the cause. So here's the line: if you're not on these medications, this doesn't apply. But if you are, this matters immediately, because the next mistake is something you won't see, even in your lab results. Now this one is different because it hides. Plant sterols, known as heart healthy, but not for everyone. There's a condition most people never test for: cetoasterolemia. And here's the issue: your body absorbs more, far more, than it should, and it accumulates silently. So from the outside, you're doing everything right, but internally, your body is responding differently. And you wouldn't know, because standard tests Don't show it clearly. This is what I mean by hidden variables, and after 60, those variables matter more, because the next mistake is the one most people experience. Now this is the one I hear the most. I thought it was healthy, so I didn't limit it. And this is where things become very real. Calories still matter, even from healthy fat sources like this. And after 60, your metabolism slows, muscle decreases, so your body burns less and stores more, not just under the skin, but around your organs, visceral fat. And this changes everything: energy, mobility, control. And here's the pattern. You're not eating wrong. You're just eating too much of something you trust. So here's the correction: 1/3. Not the whole fruit, not every day. Precision. Because small excess and repeated daily is what leads to loss of control. And most people don't see it until it's already happening. Before we finish, if this helped you see something new, take a second and hit like. And tell me, which mistake surprised you the most? Because when you say it, you remember it. And when you remember it, you change it. Now stay with me, because this is where everything comes together. Hello, I am Dr. Caleb Sterling. Today, we aren't talking about complicated medical theories or exhausting routines. We are talking about simplification. Because after 60, health should not be a burden. It should be a soulful, quiet strength. Your body has changed, and your approach must change with it. Many of my patients feel overwhelmed by the noise of modern health advice. Do this, don't eat that, track every step. It's exhausting, isn't it? But I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to be that way. We can make it simple. We can make it soulful, and we can make it effective through precision. Precision matters more than effort now. Let's walk through a path where small, deliberate choices lead to a lifetime of independence and peace. Our first step is the art of portion control. It isn't about deprivation. It's about respecting your metabolism's current speed. Your furnace burns differently now. As we age, our bodies become incredibly efficient with energy. Large meals can become a stressor. The secret is to stop before you are full. Aim for 80%. Try using a smaller plate. It's a simple trick, but it shifts your psychology. You see a full plate, and your brain feels satisfied without the strain of overeating. Drink a glass of water before you sit down. Often, what we interpret as hunger is simply a quiet cry for hydration. Give your body what it needs first. By controlling portions, you naturally reduce silent toxins like hidden salts and sugars. These are the weights that fatigue your heart and kidneys over time. Now let's talk about the heartbeat of health: consistency. I tell my patients, 1% better every day is a medical miracle. It's the soul of persistence. Your biology loves routine. It craves predictability. When you wake up, eat, and move at the same time, your hormones find their natural, peaceful balance. Consistency in movement is more vital than intensity. A 10-minute walk every morning is far superior to a long, exhausting hike once a month. Keep the flow going. When we are consistent, our joints stay lubricated and our muscles stay engaged. We prevent the stiffness that leads to falls. We protect your independence. Consistency also governs your sleep. Going to bed at the same hour allows your brain to clear away cellular debris. Recovery is not a luxury, it is medicine. If you miss a day, do not punish yourself. Just return to the rhythm tomorrow. The goal is the long horizon, not a perfect week. Be kind to your soul. Third, we must look at how we combine our fuel. Food pairing is the key to metabolic peace, especially as we manage blood pressure and energy levels. Never let a carbohydrate travel alone. Pairing a grain with a healthy fat or protein prevents the sugar spikes that exhaust your heart and your pancreas. We also pair for circulation. For my friends aged 65 to 74, we aim for a blood pressure of 130 to 140. Potassium-rich greens help this balance. For those aged 75 to 84, our target shifts slightly to 135 over 145. And for my seniors over 85, 140 to 150 is often the safe zone. Diastolic should stay between 70 and 85. Healthy fats are like oil for a fine machine. Avocado, walnuts, and olive oil help your brain stay sharp and your nerves communicate clearly as you age. If you feel sleepy after eating, your pairing was off. Proper pairing gives you a steady stream of power, not a sudden crash. It's about listening to the fuel. Metabolic peace means your body isn't fighting itself. It's working in harmony to provide the energy you need for the things you love. That is the goal. We must also protect the pancreas. It is the silent engine of your metabolism. Excessive sugar and processed flours force it to overwork, leading to the cellular fatigue we want to avoid. Precision in eating is kindness to your pancreas. This leads us to our most profound pillar, paying attention. After 60, your body speaks in whispers. You must learn to listen before it needs to shout. One way to listen is resonance frequency breathing. 6 breaths per minute, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. It's a bridge between your mind and your heart. Let's try it together. Breathe in for 5 and breathe out for 5. This simple rhythm calms your nervous system and stabilizes your blood pressure. A slight stiffness, a flicker of fatigue, these are messages. When you pay attention, you catch small issues before they become crises. You are your best advocate. Awareness builds confidence. When you know how your body responds to food and rest, you lose the fear of aging. You gain control, more than you think. Even issues like tinnitus are often signs of cellular starvation or circulation needs. Attention allows us to address the root, not just the symptom. I use a framework: load, flow, circulation, and peace. Isometric exercise, then cardio, then light movement, then deep breathing. It is the cycle of life. 7 minutes a day, that's all it takes to start. A simple routine that respects your limits but pushes your potential. Just 7 minutes of precision. I want to hear from you. What is one change you've made that helped you feel younger? Please share your experience in the comments below. We learn together. Your journey can inspire someone else. Whether you are 65 or 85, your wisdom is needed. Tell us your age and one thing that brings you peace. Remember, after 60, precision matters more than effort. It's not about how hard you work, it's about how correctly you apply your energy. Effort alone is tiring. Watch out for reheated fats and old oils. These are silent toxins that stress your liver and pancreas. Fresh, whole ingredients are the simplest way to maintain metabolic flow and prevent internal inflammation. Your body still responds. It still adapts. It's not too late. The cells in your heart and your brain are waiting for the right signal to thrive again. Start with one change. Maybe it's the smaller plate. Maybe it's the 10-minute walk. Then add another. What you do now shapes how you feel in 10 years. You are the architect of your future self. Every soulful choice today is a brick in the house of your longevity. Build it with kindness and precision. Now let's simplify everything. Control your portion. Be consistent. Pair foods correctly. Pay attention to your body. That's it. It's that simple. Not extreme, just precise. Because you deserve a life lived with clarity, with energy, and with a heart full of peace. You still have control. More control than you think. You have the power to write the next chapter of your health story with grace and strength. I believe in your resilience. The road ahead is beautiful when you walk it with intention. Every breath is a new beginning. Every choice is a step toward a better version of you. Thank you for spending this time with me. It has been an honor. I am Dr. Caleb Sterling. Be kind to yourself, and remember, small steps lead to great distances. Goodbye for now. I look forward to hearing about your journey. Stay soulful. Stay strong. Goodbye.